Greetings YouTube! What a glorious morning it currently is in this, not at all my usual recording space. So what's going on, I hear you cry? Why are we somewhere new? We fear change. Well, you might recall at the end of last week's video, I said that I was planning to be making needle minders this week. Unfortunately, I've kind of got a bit off track with that and I'm still waiting for some supplies to arrive as well. Don't worry though, I have a different plan. Before we get into all that, in the last couple of weeks my channel has had an influx of new subscribers and in fact we've just officially hit 100. That is absolutely crazy unexpected after just over a month of uploading videos, and I've not really had a proper chance to say hello to you all. Hello new people! So I thought instead of a generic top-down craft project video with a voiceover, why not take you along with me for the next couple of days in my capacity as wannabe professional crafter? We can get to know each other a little bit, and you never know, it might be fun. If you are new here, let me just take a second to introduce myself. I'm Michelle, known around the internet as the Giddy Stitcher, and I'm an enthusiastic multi-crafter who mostly cross-stitches, knits and crochets, but also sews, makes soap, and dabbles in a little bit of everything. On this channel, I want to share the ins and outs of multi-craft life, adventures in new crafts, and like in today's video, a look at what it's really like trying to bring in a little extra money with your hobbies. So, if that sounds like the sort of content you might be interested in, you should hang around. Now first things first today, I need my cup of tea. And then it's time to throw out today's to-do list and write a completely new one from scratch to match the new plan. Alright, now we're all planned out and you can see my main focus for today is going to be on craft fair prep, about which much more in a second. Also, I want to learn to design a biscornu, which might not be how you pronounce that word. Someone please let me know if I'm doing it wrong. So, let's take a second here to chat because you might have some questions. How am I devoting a whole weekday to crafting? Do I not have a job? Alright for some, etc, etc. The truth is, no. I do not currently have a job. A few years ago we moved town, I left my position as a web developer and took the opportunity of having a bit of savings to go back to university, which is something I'd always wanted to do. Well, a couple of months ago that degree was completed and we are now in the back end of what I've once again come to know as the summer holidays. It's a really big luxury when you're in your 30s, I don't mind admitting. So, due to having a bit of savings anyway and being like crazy frugal with my maintenance loan from uni, the choice is now between looking for a new career opportunity in the local area or building something of my own with about a year of financial leeway. Small towns are not exactly known for their boundless career opportunities, so here I am thinking up ways that my hobbies can turn into money and seeing what sticks. I fully acknowledge that this is like a hugely privileged position to be in, and that makes it kind of embarrassing to admit on the internet, but it is my position, and downplaying it would be way worse. Anyway, this brings us to craft fair prep. I've always wanted to try a craft fair, not because I think they'll make me rich, but just because it's fun to try new things and it seems like an interesting experience to have. I'm going into this fully aware that pricing on crafts is often a race to the bottom and that makes it difficult to turn a profit. So this almost certainly won't be a stable long-term source of income. But you know what they say, you never know unless you make a spreadsheet. One thing I do know for sure about craft fairs is that you need products. So, step 1, to Google. Okay, so a few bullet points from my research so far. Cross-stitch is basically a no-go. The things that sell well at fairs tend to be trademark characters and such, which I have absolutely no interest in stitching, and the sheer time it takes to stitch something would probably price me out of the market if I wanted anything approaching a profit. I think cross-stitch kits could work, but frankly I'm still finding my style with all that, so it's not the right time to invest in kits yet. Sewing could be good, as it can be relatively fast, meaning more chance for profit. Unfortunately, again, I'm really just finding my feet with that, and I'm not yet confident enough in my skills. Maybe next year if I keep practicing. Soap and related products have all sorts of legal restrictions here in the UK, and I'm not going to touch that with a barge pole. Yet. which leaves knitting and crochet, which is quite cliche for a craft fair, but I guess now I can see why. Crochet, for me at least, is a lot faster than knitting to create the same sort of thing, so in theory that would be my best bet for actually being able to make a small profit. Let's start there. In terms of colours, it seems like muted tones are all the rage at the moment. We've got the ever-popular neutrals, but also dusky pinks, kind of muted mustards and dark terracottas. Grey also keeps coming up on all the lists, but I'm not sure how that will fit with my potential product list. We'll have to see. So, my plan of action for the rest of the morning is as follows. Figure out what kind of things I would like to try and make and sell. Figure out which, if any, of those things might be profitable. Make a goal inventory list that I would like to get done before the rush season starts. So let's go! Okay, I've just created a spreadsheet with the patterns I most enjoy making, plus a few that I've got my eye on. Some of these are generic, simple things I've made up myself, some of them are from actual patterns from real designers, but I have made sure that those ones do allow for selling the finished pieces. I'm running a few very rough and basic calculations based on the cost of yarn, any other materials plus packaging cost. As you can see here, the numbers are not great. This is just the reality of selling crafts that have been devalued, and there's not much I can personally do about it. But I have at least listed sale prices that I think are achievable at the right event with the right audience. Our neighbour has just popped round to let us know he accidentally trimmed a bit of his pear tree off into our garden. So he did. I didn't even know they had a pear tree. Now, where were we? Ah yes, I've put together a list of what I'd ideally like to create and stock up on before the busy season. As you can see, I have already pre-made one cozy in the natural colourway, so that's one item down, 148 to go. Maybe this is why sellers start prepping for Christmas way earlier than this. Alright, morning well spent, and now I can chill with food. The last thing I want to do on craft fair planning before I move on is to just sort out what suitable yarns I already own and make one quick cup cozy just to check that my time estimate is right. Answer: yes, we are good, for this one product at least. And hey, look! Some new paint arrived for my needle minder project. Here's a sneak peek of what's going on there. It's about an hour later and my camera needed to charge, but in the meantime I did some research into the enigma that is the biscornu. I have this vision in my mind and I want to release it as a free cross-stitch pattern along with maybe a make-along video showing how to assemble it. That's the plan, but apparently my brain doesn't do well with complicated spatial stuff. So, rather than just drawing out the design and knowing how it'll fit together like a professional designer, I've constructed this draft biscornu with some sewn together squares of graph paper and I'm drawing out the rough shapes of my design onto there. That way I can see what it looks like when unfolded, so pretty much I'm designing this backwards. Still, this is a thing that's been on my list to learn for ages, and it is quite interesting seeing how simple they really are to make. Okay, it's just after 5 PM and we'll shortly be off on our daily walk. I'm just going to grab some quick photos for the old Instagram while I think on. Behold my extremely professional setup! But hey, whatever works, right? This is progress on Alpine by Satsuma Street, which I'm very much enjoying stitching. Big blocks of solid colour, yes please. Okay, we're back. Mildly sweaty because I'm terribly unfit, and I've just had an Etsy order come through for a cup cozy in one of the shortly to be discontinued colourways. We're just about to eat and then I will probably stop filming for a while so we can relax and be social for a bit. So I've made the cup cozy for the new Etsy order and another one in the neutral colour just because I was in a groove. I've also stopped the endless swatching and started officially stitching my biscornu design. It's about 8 PM and I'm ready to wrap up work for the day, but I think there's one thing left on my list. Play Subnautica. Deep water is the worst, that is all. Update. I made it around 30 minutes of gaming time before the stress of it got too much. If you played Subnautica, you know. So let's quickly recap on the day. We made some logical plans for craft fair stock, or failing that, a decent inventory for the Etsy Christmas rush. We started actually making some of it, which always helps. We figured out how biscornus work and came up with an effective, if slightly backwards, method of designing one, and we survived a whole half hour of undersea terror. That's pretty decent, I would say. Now, it is around that time of night where boyfriend and I settle down to just watch TV and be social, so I'm going to stop filming here, but I'll see you in the morning. Good night! Good morning, all. I say morning, but it's actually almost 11. My morning has been taken up with just admin and general tasks. On the bright side, though, look! I got accepted into my very first crafty affiliate program. Yay! Love crafts are great. They stepped in years ago when the EU digital VAT disaster was destroying small sellers, and they gave us somewhere to safely sell our PDF patterns, so for that I will always be grateful. They also have a good range of supplies, kits, a kind of how-to section. I have nothing in particular of theirs to shill today, but they are having a big birthday sale this weekend, so I'll put the link in the description anyway, just in case you have an absolutely burning desire to order something and earn me 10 pence. On to more pressing matters. Today I want to make good progress on my Halloween biscornu, and I need to package and mail that Etsy order that came in last night. If I get a chance to continue stocking up on bits and pieces for the craft fair prep bag, all the better. So today will hopefully be a lot less of me waffling and a lot more actual productive crafting. Let's go! This is a pretty inefficient process when you're just doing one item at a time, but during the busy season it becomes more of a production line setup. I really do need to invest in some cute stickers or something to include, but you've seen how narrow the profit margins are already, and honestly I don't know how some people do it. As if to reward me for my packaging efforts, look! I knew I heard something come through the door, and I think I know what it is too. Turns out it was 2 packages, both for me. Getting mail is like getting presents, as some old podcast I used to listen to would say, and in this case both of these presents are crafty. First up, this is just a little bit of plain white drawstring from an eBay seller. Last Saturday I made this cute little cactus project bag, but was missing a suitable string for it, so here that is. And now the biggie. This one hurt to order because, as previously discussed, I am being very frugal right now, but it's an investment in my crafting future. This fabric is my first ever even weave. I'd been meaning to try it for ages but just couldn't justify the extra expense, except I've just settled on a new blackwork design to stitch as per the August goals list, and I realised it would look nice in our living room, so I want some nice fabric. The store didn't have their usual smaller size available, so I have bought way too much of this, but hey, it'll get used. Why not? If memory serves, this is 28 count DMC even weave in ecru, but also I could be totally making that up. This large and alarmingly expensive bag of floss includes colours for 3 different projects, so that's quite exciting. I didn't realise while ordering quite how autumnal the colour combo is, but ooh. There's also a thing of glow in the dark in there because I'm worried that might sell out soon due to all of the Halloween stitch-alongs starting, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, that's enough fondling. I have no time to play with this now. I'm going to grab some quick food and then get straight back to work. I cannot wait to have this biscornu experiment complete. I'm so excited. In fact, I'll probably keep working on it all night tonight. That's kind of the problem when you're mixing business with your hobby. Sometimes it's hard to switch off and go into relax mode. But my strategy so far for dealing with that is just to ask myself, is this something you want to do or something you feel like you should do? And then I go from there. I know a lot of crafters have a small side income from their hobby, so if that's you, how do you deal with work-life balance? Got any systems or habits that work for you? Or are you more the hustle and grind type? Honestly, I'm not quite sure where I sit yet, but I'm just going to keep an eye on myself and watch out for signs of overwhelm. Alright, I made some good progress there, so I also found time to experiment with some coaster patterns. First, a basic round coaster, then a more flouncy one, and I spent some time moving this weirdly small travel cup from one to the other, trying to decide which I liked best. Then another basic round coaster, but in a slightly smaller hook, which made an imperceptible difference to the overall size, but does look neater, I think. Now it's time to test this tablet, which hasn't been turned on in about 6 years, so I have no idea if this'll work. I actually didn't expect that. Okay. So this tablet is obviously super old, but I just thought I'd dig it out and factory reset it and see if it's got up-to-date enough Android to run the Pattern Keeper app so I can give that a try sometime. Answer? Maybe. This tablet is really old. Anyway, time for the daily walk. As much as I generally do dislike small town life, we are at least lucky to live somewhere decently scenic. We've got easy access to some good walking routes, and we have easy access to a postbox too, so what more could you want, I suppose? Alright, we are back, and I think we're basically done in terms of concrete obligations today. Boyfriend is putting the finishing touches on the first set of test dice made from our new 3D printed hard edge master set, and I'm going to pester him for a minute and then go put that new drawstring in my cactus bag. If you follow me on Instagram and you wonder how it can possibly take me so long to complete simple craft projects, hopefully it is now starting to make sense. I've had basically no time for any of my own projects for the 2 days of filming, and that's not exactly a rare occurrence at the moment. Still, I will try and carve out an hour or so stitching time later for some more progress on Alpine. The finished piece is going to be awesome, and I'm kind of too excited to leave that one sitting for long. That'll be it for today, I think. Good design progress, an Etsy order fulfilled, and a set of crochet coasters added to the product bag. Not too bad. I'm going to leave the vlog there as it's that time again for us to be social and watch TV. And I'll also need to start editing ready for tomorrow's upload. Rinse and repeat these couple of days and you basically have my life at the moment. Always crafting something, obviously, but also always making plans and hoping that one of them comes to fruition before the money runs out. They do say that you regret the chances you didn't take, so I'm kind of hoping that turns out to be true, but we'll see. I hope you've enjoyed a peek into what it's like to be a multicrafter having a midlife career crisis. If you have, please do consider leaving this video a like, because it kind of makes me feel like everything is going to be okay somehow. So now you know me a little better, it's your turn. Tell me something about yourself. It can be something big, something small, something crafty related, something completely random. I just really enjoy getting to know new people, so come on in and introduce yourself. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back next Thursday, and in the meantime, keep making cool stuff. Bye!